Well, I joined Tim Erdman, who's in charge of the main house, the gardens around it, yeah?
Great.
This is really spectacular again. There's a lot going on here, and I want you to try and explain what we're seeing in front of us, because it's incredibly colourful. And I'm even seeing some daffodils still in flower.
Yeah, this is a late variety called pumpkin spice.
Oh no, really?
Yep, it's everywhere.
Pumpkin spice is everywhere, even in the daffodils.
Yep.
Fantastic colour though.
Yeah, so we're kind of at the tail end of our season, at least as far as bulbs are concerned, spring blooming bulbs. So yeah, these are the last of the late tulips. This is Blue Amable here, and then the more magenta hued tulip is a late variety called Yosemite. And those are both good perennializers. I mean, they're late tulip to begin with. They're also later blooming because they've been in a bed for a few seasons.
Brilliant. I'm seeing what I call wallflowers. I don't know what you call them, and they're fantastic. You can plant those in cold season, and they come up and still flower without a problem.
Yeah, we keep them in the cold frames. We overwinter them there. It just makes them come out of winter just a little bit softer, a little more gently.
The foliage you got some really interesting foliage in there. This little edging plant here, what do we got here?
So this is a self-sowing fennel here, and then this is a Geranium tuberosum, the more lace-leafed one. I think that one's really delicate, and it gives nice purple flowers, kind of the same hue as that.
Very, very nice. That big textured plant. What is that?
This is a clary sage, a Salvia scleria. So yeah, in about June, that'll send up a candelabra of pink flowers. It's a variety called Vatican pink, and they'll be about kind of waist high. So it's a pretty dramatic plant when it comes on.
I've got a practical question. The little terracotta bowls just sitting in there. What's going on there? Explain that.
Just to do a little something different, some intrigue. So they
color,
were just kind of more valuable in early spring, before all these bulbs had come into flower. So yeah, celebrating the color of terracotta. I also went pretty heavy on terracotta planters on a terrace, so it's kind of a prelude to all of that.
I gotcha.
And I also just kind of like the idea of planting an empty pot.
Brilliant. So, talking about the terrace, we have an invite up the staircase and see what you've been up to there.
Yeah, by means.
We're just about to enter the terrace garden, but I thought I'd show you these things. They just look wonderful in terms of, often people get so obsessed with making complicated containers, and the complication can often make things too difficult to grasp. It's just a strain for your eyes. But sometimes containers full of one plant only just makes a wonderful addition. And the lovely thing about containers is if you don't like them here, you can move them and incorporate them with other containers. Get ready, we're going to see what's on the terrace this year. Every year it's different. What have we got here? Because this is amazing.
That's a osteospermum. It's a variety called Double Moonglow.
And it's got the extra little kind of central
Exactly,
petals.
yeah, kind of emphasizing the daisy form.
Yeah, otherwise the normal osteospermum looks a bit like a straw flower. It's a bit more simple and whatever.
Simpler rays.
All right, brilliant. Well, this is something else. Tim, you're going to have to explain this to me.
Sure.
This is your creation. I love this rope business.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a manila rope, so made from bananas, using plants to support plants.
Plants to support plants. They're fantastic. And you need a bit of support for this. This is a monstrous container.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is just a traditional hanging basket form, but instead of inserting a liner to cover the whole basket, we just insert a disc at the bottom and then add plants to the sides as well as the top. And
as
then
you're building
kind of fill
up,
it out into a sphere.
Yeah. So what have we got here? This I recognize as a pea family.
Yeah. So those are sugar snap peas. Celebrating a lot of edible plants here. So then we have cabbages. We have some sage in here as well. This is dill. So that's just beginning to spike. We'll have some nice golden plumes coming out of that before too long.
Gotcha. What's the secret then of keeping these pansies going?
Just a little deadheading. Otherwise,
and keep them out of the sun. I see you've planted them down low. So that they get a bit of shading maybe?
So the basket does take a bit of maintenance, just keeping especially the big cabbage leaves off of it, just kind of, mitigating the competition between the plants as best we can.
So in terms of hanging bus, you've got to think of microclimates, haven't you? You've got around the edge where it could dry out quicker, yeah?
Yes,
so the more dry-loving plants. You've got full sun here, okay? And as you go down, you're getting into shade. So right underneath, you've even got some little plants.
Yeah, trailing down, doing their best to try and find some light.
And each one, it's like a new test, a trial, is it?
It is, yeah. And it's funny seeing which plants take to growing horizontally versus vertically. Some offer a little more resistance.
You're getting 3 to 4 feet across and possibly 5-6 feet tall.
Indeed, yeah. It'll grow and grow.
Just as well we got the strong rope to support it.
You got it, yes.
Well, once more we return to what is called the flowery lawn, and that's quite appropriate, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us what's going on. The purple is the Dame's Rocket. I recognise that because we see that out in the wild and whatever. But this is grass here underneath it all. That's the main
Yeah, it's
planting.
a fine fescue supporting all the players. So it starts off with more daffodils and tulips, and those have finished obviously by this point. And then picking up the show is we have Silene, the soft pink flower there. There's a bunch of blue camassia or clamache around the garden, but it's pink here. So that's a pretty.
And mid-season, what happens sort of midsummer?
Midsummer we have lilies that come on and daylilies, yeah, that's when we start planting in annuals. For the most part, this is a pretty perennial system, but we do add a few cosmos, zinnias, things like that if you like.
It's a lot of work, a lot of intense.
It is, yeah. And the thing with this this bed here is it's supposed to look like a self-sustaining system, like a meadow that if you just leave your lawn, this is what happens. But I probably spend more time in this bed than I do any
I can
others.
imagine, yeah. It's quite an undertaking, I have to say, just looking at it.
A lot of effort to make it look effortless.
Well, Tim, I love this view because you've got splendor of a sunken sort of garden here. And then you've got some height on the other side with a balustrade around and these glorious hawthorn trees.
Yes.
Do you know which variety they are?
That's Crataegus viridis Winter King.
Oh, Winter King. That has the most fantastic berry hold in the winter.
It does, yeah.
If
The birds love it too.
If the birds don't get it all, then whatever.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
in front of us, we have another bed full of all kinds of prizes, I should say. Tell us some of the things that are going on.
So right now we have GM Mai Tai holding a lot of the show right here. It's an orange flower. Digitalis of foxgloves are just getting ready to spike, so that's kind of a sneak preview of what's to come. This is a soap aloe right here, the red flower, an exotic looking plant.
And that's been moved from greenhouse, I take it.
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
put it
that's
up
not
there.
hardy. Yeah, the GMs have perennialized here very nicely, but yeah, aloe we have to bring in.
Oh, very, very nice. And
We love
the
it.
cactus, which a lot of people don't realize you can actually grow even up in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area. The puncher will survive.
Yeah, exactly.
It tends to deflate. It goes all wrinkly in the
It
winter.
does, yeah. If you have a lot of effort in you, you can build little houses around them to shelter them, but the plant itself will survive even though some of the individual pads
And
may
it does
not.
flower. I mean, it has a beautiful
It
flower.
does flower, yeah.
Well, Tim and I found refuge under the late rain. Well, it's not really protecting us a lot.
Best
but
we can.
The reason I came down here is this wonderful color contrast. One of my favorites, the purple of the Japanese maple and something unusual which I haven't seen before. What is it?
So this is actually two willows that we have grafted together. It's a golden willow called Salix Golden Showers.
And
so
it's
tied them
actually joined. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so it's become one plant.
Fantastic. A natural archway.
Exactly.
Brilliant. So this color combination I like in the garden because it comes out early and it's going to last all through the summer into the fall. So a variety of plants you can use. It don't have to be trees. You could use some of the smoke bushes now, which are available in tiny little varieties.
Shrubs, herbaceous plants too. I mean, as they say, foliage is forever. So.
Foliage is forever. So
Yeah.
flowers, yeah, it's nice, but you're often talking maybe 2-3 weeks of flowers, and then what? These, the color is all through the summer.
Exactly.
Well, here's something really quite unusual. Anybody recognize it? Well, in England, I know these as monkey puzzle trees. And the French probably have a better word for it. It is despair of the monkey. It's almost impossible to climb. It is impossible to climb. They're just so sharp. Now, it looks fairly small here, but it will actually be quite a large tree, quite an unusual looking tree. I haven't seen one of those for ages. Tim, this is a nice surprise. When you approach this huge terracotta pot, you're wondering what's inside, and when you look over, here it is. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Tell us some of the flowers we got here.
So the cloudy white here, this is Viburnum macrocephalum. The grass here is a Chartreuse hackernacloa. The cloudy yellow up top, everything's cloudy here, but the cloudy yellow up top is a Isidus or a Dyer's Woad. And then the yellow underneath it in rivers in between the Viburnum is Golden Alexander's Zizia.
Well, Tim, I love this bed. It's opposite the house on that sunken bit of a garden, but it's light, it's airy. We've got this wonderful white phlox.
Yeah, that's our Phlox varicata. This is a variety called May Breeze.
Absolutely beautiful. And this shape of this silhouette of this, and Japanese hydrangea vine. It says vine,
yeah.
but you've trained it as a tree.
Yeah, essentially. We tip it back each year, keeping it low enough that we can still see the hedge behind it. It's very transparent now, but it will leaf out and become quite obscuring.
So sometimes some of those difficult vines, like a wisteria, you can also train as a tree.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
rather than it grabbing hold of your house and tearing it apart, you can put it in the garden and keep it contained.
Exactly, yeah. No, you have to keep on the job because it will want to run, but no, by all means.
And I have to say, the iris right next to you, though, is really gorgeous.
Yes, yeah, Iris tectorum.
And I love the way you've got that kind of that floating pool to put in some clematis flowers. And it just
Exactly, yeah,
matches.
no, very complementary tone.
Very, very nice. Well, Tim, it's been an absolute pleasure. There's so much going on there. Again, this wonderful little display here. It's kind of silly how small little things get your eye and you say, I can do that.
Exactly.
And this you certainly can. Container, a little bit of ivy growing on it. Could easily be a feature in someone's yard. Brilliant. You've done a fantastic job. I just
thank you
want to
very
say
much.
thanks.
No.
And maybe we can dry off somewhere. But I have to
Let's
say,
hope.
it's like being back in England. It's kind
Right.
of a preservative rain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keeps you young,
I'll
keeps
get
you
some
going.
tea for you.
Is my hair colour's sliding down, is it? Get it back up there. Thanks, Tim.
All right, thank you very much.